Thus, the central nervous systems, also called central nervous system, it consists of brain and spinal cords, mainly two parts, but it doesn't include the cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Brain is this is the brain, and this is the brain. This is the central information processing organs, and this is also called command and control system. It controls the voluntary as well as involuntary function of the lungs, brain, heart, kidneys, stomach, blood vessels, means different organs. They all are controlled by the brains. And this also includes the different processes like vision, hearing, speech, memory, intelligence, emotions, love, thought, all are controlled by the brain. These all functions are controlled by the brain. It is protected by the bony skulls, and this portion is called cranium and brain box. And this has three meninges covered by this. Outer one is the dura mater, and middle one, thin one is the arachnoid, and third pia mater. Pia mater is attached with the connected with the tissue of the brain, and this is filled with cerebrospinal fluid in between arachnoid and the pia mater. So this fluid protects the brain also for shock, and there are three types of parts in the brain, mainly forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain is the largest part of the brain, and this consists of cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. In this time, like cerebrum is the largest one. Cerebrum is divided by the deep cleft by into two parts. This is right and left part, left cerebral hemispheres and left cerebral hemispheres. This is connected by the corpus callosum. This is the nerve tract. It provides the communication between the left and right cerebral hemispheres. In this diagrams, you can see this is the cerebral cortex. It has regions and depressions that are called gyri and sulci respectively. Regions are gyri and sulci. Depression is sulci, and this has a lot of neuron cell body, so it is color is gray and called gray matter. Outer one is the gray matter. It is called gray matter. Cortex is called gray matter, and inside cortex has this motor area, sensory area, and association area. Association area has different functions like intersensory association, memory, communication. These are the very complex activities or functions. And inside the hemisphere, there is cerebral hemisphere, there is white matter. It has the myelinated axon, abundance of myelinated axons, so it is white in colors. And this cerebral cortex, and this is the midbrain, and in this between, this is the hypothalamus, and above the hypothalamus there is thalamus. So hypothalamus controls temperature, eat or drinking. These all activities are controlled by the this has neurosecretory cells which supply hypothalamic hormones that control also the pituitary and other endocrine glands. In this diagrams you can see this is the limbic systems. This limbic system consists of amygdala, hippocampus, and this limbic system has very important functions, and along with hypothalamus it controls sexual behavior, long-term memory, olfaction, that is sense of a smell, and different emotional reactions like rage, fear, and also motivation is controlled by the this limbic system along with hypothalamus. This is the diagram of midbrain. Midbrain in between the pons and the thalamus hypothalamus of the. So this is in between the forebrain and the hindbrain. That is the midbrain. It connects the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle of the brain. There is aqueduct of Sylvius. This is called aqueduct of Sylvius that connect the fourth ventricle to third ventricles. This is called corpora quadrigemina. This has reflex center for vision and hearing. There are four lobes, so called corpora quadrigemina. This is the brain stem between the connect between the midbrain and the hindbrains. So brain and a spinal cord. This is connected by the brain, a stem, and which this is the pons. This is the hindbrain portions, cerebellum, pons, and this medulla oblongata. There is fiber tracts also. This region is called cerebellum that control the different quadratic movements and balancing. These all are controlled by this cerebral, cerebellum, not cerebrum, cerebellums. And this is the medulla oblongata. This connects link between the brain and this spinal cords. So medulla oblongata is connected to the spinal cord. This controls the blood pressures, respiration, cardiovascular reflexes, and this gastric secretions, all are controlled by this. This is the process of reflex action. When we touch extremely hot or cold something or something poisonous or pointed, we react instantly. This is called due to reflex actions. In this diagram you can see this reflex actions and the path through which this action occurs, that is called reflex path or that is also called reflex arc. In these diagrams you can see this is the gray matter, white matters, and they have a different path. They have three mainly. This is the receptor, and this is the sensory neurons or afferent neurons, then interneurons or association neurons, and then go to motor neurons, and then effector organs. So these parts should be included in the reflex arc. First, the nerve impulse comes from the sensory organs, or like skin. It passes through the sensory neurons, go to in the spinal cord. There is the interneuron or association neuron that passes the impulse to the motor neurons, go to the effector organs. This is the whole reflex arc or pathway, you can say. This also save the time for reaction. So it occurs, save the time for reaction and painful actions. So thank you.